CMPRadio.net. It's the station.
CMPRadio.net, man. You already know it's your boy Uncle P, and we're live from the Cultivating Mature Positivity Studios. I have a very, very, very special guest for you. Author, singer, mother, man, just an awesome person, right? A lover of children, right? A lover of life, a lover, period, right? When I think of, or when I was first asked to do this interview, right, of course I had to sit down and I had to find out who I was about to talk to, right? I'm a little ignorant to things that are happening out there in the world. I cut my television off, right? I'm grieving my mother, my cousin, my grandfather, my aunt. I lost a lot of people last year. So I'm kind of disconnected from everything that's happening out there in the world right now, right? So I had to go research and look you up, right, and ask questions. So I'm going to read a short bio, right, about you, right, not about nobody else. Julie McKnight, since the age of 16, has worked with families in one capacity or another. As a young adult, she began her work as a counselor working with the foster care system and has since expanded her reach to become a mentor, a teacher. Her passion for children and family dynamics has also led her to create a nonprofit organization, Carolina's Child. Her program is based on the arts and allows children to learn and create while being guided by professionals in the field. As an international recording artist, which was Julie has been privileged to learn the lessons concerning the entertainment industries. She strives to pass on to the young people coming after her. Julie is a mother of 2 sons and a grandmother to 3. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm sending you love for
Thank you.
Your, I don't even like to say losses, but for your family that's not with you now.
Loss in real life, gains in the spiritual world.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
I was talking to a friend today, and I said sometimes when you sit still, you know, I can hear my mom talking to me.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I was in an MRI yesterday, MRI machine, and I was in there. And I was overtaken. Like I had a bunch of people standing over top of me, right? Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything you're doing. And my dad bust in. I'm not proud of you. You still got more work to do, sounding just like him. Then my grandmother came in there, then my grandfather. And I was like, man, I had tears coming down my eyes,
it's
right?
It's real.
Because when you stop and slow down for just a quick second, right, they'll come to you. They'll come and talk to you. So I'm amazed by that they still come and talk to me. But they know I need them, right?
It's true.
So I have angels around me, man.
My son's in here with me too, so we got it.
Absolutely. How are you?
I'm good most days, even with the situation you're talking about. But overall, I'm just grateful and okay.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the book, Mama Bear. Why write it? Right? Right. Why? Like most people, I hear what you're talking about. Okay, I have 5 women I share children with.
There you go. I
would love for them to be in a blended family, or just for the children, the sake of the children. Not for me. I don't need everybody in the house for me, but
I got you.
For the sake of the children, try to raise the children together. Right?
Yes.
So is that what you tried to do?
Yes, that's the main foundation of it, to show that it can be done. It can be done, and to give a little guidance to moms by example, hopefully, that I was a mom who is blessed to have 2 amazing sister moms with me, and our kids, our siblings, that's their family. And they have been raised that way. Like you said, we weren't always in the house. Everything wasn't always all of us together, but they're clear that this is their siblings. And, also to incorporate a person. That's crazy that you're telling me, because dads are a huge part of what I want to give a voice to as well, and help the moms understand that dads want to do this.
Yes.
That it's not always that he's just the daddy that's somewhere. There are fathers who want to father their children.
Yes.
And my sisters aren't letting them. And we got to do better than that. We have to do better than that.
And when you say our sisters aren't letting them, what do you mean by that?
I mean that they're actually not allowing fathers to father their children because of issues they have with the other moms, or the issue they have with a new partner. That new partner doesn't even necessarily have to have a child with the dad. It's just that it's another woman, period.
Hit this bell.
And that's what we have to do better with.
Absolutely.
Because the kids are missing it. I had a situation where the moms were fine, but they wanted their separate weekends. But the dad wanted their kids together. on birthdays, on his weekend,
on birthdays, celebrations, family gatherings. I want my children together.
And you should.
Right.
You should. You have that right.
Right. Yeah, I fight all the time. I'm not going to say fight. I argue all the time sometimes with getting my children, right, wanting my youngest 4 on the weekend, right? It becomes treacherous, I guess.
Right.
Dangerous sometimes when I say I want my children to be here, because they're a part of 8, right? But they're 1, right? And that's how I feel about them, right? So, I treat all of them the same. Right, I'm nobody's special.
They're your kids.
In my eyes, they're all individuals, right? So they all have their special quirks and different things like that. But I don't treat anybody differently. I make sure they understand each other. I remember my older kids, when they would go out shopping for their birthday, I would buy everybody something, right? Yes. Like, let's celebrate your sister's birthday, but let's be happy about doing this. Yes. I still try to do the same thing now, but it's a little different. The gifts got to get a little bit lower in price. Right?
But you're still doing it.
Right.
Yes, you are.
Right. People often see the fame, right? But this book talks about the quiet work, motherhood, divorce, rebuilding. What part of your life do you think people misunderstood the most before reading this book?
The celebrity part of it. I think that the misconception is that all celebrity wives are just, it's because of what they're shown now. I wasn't running around just shopping all day and lunching and, meeting with my girlfriends. There was no nanny. Right. I ended up having brunches and lunches with, the young lady who was hired to come clean my house. I was cleaning it before, but my sons were taught, pick your own stuff up. You do this. She's not So eventually, she just became a friend of mine and no longer was there working for us. That's not what my reality was. You know, I was raising my sons. I would attend the things and wear the clothes and the diamonds and all of the stuff, but it's not real life. And it's a lonely life. So I think people, and a lot of times I've said that, and the response is, yeah, but that's easy to say when you got a bunch of money. I didn't control any of the finances. So I had what I was given, and that was that.
Let's go back to when you were younger. Describe your childhood.
Oh, it was good. It was good. It was good. And it's a blessing that I'm able to say that. You know, I had a big family. Grew up in Memphis, Tennessee until I was, 16. And I'm so glad that I was born in Pennsylvania. But once I moved to Memphis, that's the bulk of where I was. Okay. And I'm so happy I was raised there. And it prepared me. It gave me a foundation for when I had to move to Los Angeles. And it was clear how to pick what was real and what wasn't. But my childhood was amazing. It really was. Outside, we played. Lemonade, your grandmother, my grandparents lived with me, lived with our family. And it wasn't as traditional in the sense that my mom worked. My dad was home. You know, he is a minister. He's retired now, but he was, just an entrepreneur. She encouraged him and allowed him to do that. And she knew that it made him happy. And we saw that drive and hustle that we learned from my daddy. And it was good. Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Childhood. And they said you are a singer. Right? Name some of your songs.
I do house music.
House music.
Yes.
Where's DJ? Where's Chef Lamont at? Let's see where he is. So we have a DJ in the city of Chester who plays house music.
Really?
That's what he goes by, Chef Lamont, right?
Hey, Chef Lamont.
Right. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, I do house. I've been doing house now over 26 years. And I mean proper house.
Right, proper
music.
House. Proper
yes.
house.
Not to say the others aren't, but they're derivatives. Did I say that nice, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. However you said it. Right.
Yeah, we're doing like the garage, and he'll know. He'll know the Louis Vegas and the David Moraleses and the Kings of Tomorrow and the Roger Sanchez's and the Todd Terrys and the Chosen Few in Chicago. That's the house I've been doing.
Okay, all right. Now I saw on the internet, right? Name a couple of your songs.
Oh, let's see. Finally, not my sister Cece's.
Right.
Finally, even though she and I tease each other about that. Diamond Life, Home, How Soon Is Now. Right. Oh, there's a few. There's a few.
So being in the industry, understanding the industry, what happened? Why did you stop performing, or are you still performing to this day?
I just got home last week. Okay. Once I started, I never stopped. Okay. No. Right. And I didn't actually start until really pushing and actively doing it until after I separated.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't plan on it. I was doing demos at 16 in LA. That's how I made my quick little money. Right. So I would demo some stuff and then hear Tony Braxton singing it or somebody singing it, because that's what you did back then. Right. You went in, you made a little $50, you demoed the songs, you sent them to the companies, and people recorded, or you shopped the music for producers and that kind of thing. So that taught me how to be in the studio. But, I had my oldest at 18 and then my second at 21, so I slowed up. Right. But I demoed a song and it went overseas, and I didn't realize
It was a cult
that
classic
it
over
was
there.
losing its mind over there until I won a Billboard Award. And I said,
What's this
that's
for?
me.
Right.
And I said, they like me.
Right.
And that was it.
That was it.
And that was home. That one was home. Yep.
Okay. All right. You said you were 18.
I was 18 with my first. Well, I was 22 when that came out.
Okay. All right. But you were 18 with your first child.
With my first boy.
Young.
Yep.
Right. How did you feel? Looking back now.
Ooh.
Right.
Looking back, well, what, finding out I was pregnant or just being a mom?
Just being a mom at 18.
I loved it.
I know. I see it. I see it.
I loved it. Right? I loved it. I loved it. I loved being pregnant because I knew what that meant. Right, it wasn't interfering with my life. Right. It wasn't a burden for me. It wasn't. I loved the fact that this is a person inside in here. Right. And it was, I loved both times. I loved it. I loved being a mama.
Right. You write about stepping into single motherhood while raising two boys under pressure. What does strength actually look like for you during this time?
Just going. Just going. Okay. I left a situation where I hadn't prepared myself to be a single mom. I hadn't, had a savings account. I didn't do, everything was handled. Right. And I think that's when I say that people are like, yeah, you ain't have a problem. Everything was taken care of, but I wasn't prepared for it as I would be at this point. Right. So going from that situation into another where we actually were real slim, like over a couple weeks slim, and being told to pretty much, I'm paying for this, so you can go figure out the rest while raising a 6 and 3-year-old. So the strength for me was, it just turned into, I have to make this happen, which is fine. Right. I can do that.
Absolutely.
I can do that. The women I saw and the way I was raised and taught, you are able to do this. So I had to go on and get it done.
Okay. A lot of advice from your grandparents, your mother during this time when you were pregnant at 18?
Everything, a lot of it for me was by example. Okay. Because this just meant here's another child that's ours. Right. And so it wasn't, my dad's mom was that big mama. So I had that with her. Right. And, my mom was very independent and let's go and let's do this, but still very nurturing with me. And they let me be my 18 and pregnant. They allowed me to do that my way. And I still, worked as a counselor at the time. We still had 6 boys in the home with me. And they became that weren't much younger than me. Our older one was 16, and our facility was known for this is in LA when we were there, and we were known for being the one that took the cats that folk were not trying to deal with. Right. And they are my baby brothers. So my son was blessed to come. I never got to see him, hold him, love on him, until it was time for bed. Because the tribe that he came into was a blessing.
And you that helped, right?
It helped me.
So many.
It did.
So
it did.
Right.
It really, really did help me. It helped all of us.
Right.
Yep.
When you have a tribe, when you have a family, when you have people around you that love you, that care about you, right? It just boosts everything, makes everything that much better.
It does.
Right? Do you think that's what led to the blended family, with you trying to push, you feel me, to be okay with everyone, right? Because you came from a big family?
I think that was part of it for sure, the importance of family. But my mom is a part of a blended family, and she's got lots of brothers and lots of sisters that all found each other. I watched her mom show how to blend with the other moms and do that respectfully, do that in a healthy way for the kids. So I saw that as well.
Right.
And I had no idea that it was going to help me at the point that I needed to do that for myself, because I didn't see that in my home. But family is is important.
Very important. Very important. You say blended families aren't broken, they're built. What does building actually require that people don't talk about enough?
Respect. It respect, and it has to be, I'm speaking from my experience, it has to be respect given to the mother because she's the mother.
Right.
It needs to be given to the father because he's the father. That can be a stepfather that has stepped in to help. That can be a stepmom that has stepped in to help. Right. But it has to begin with that. And of course, building it then becomes that the kids are first.
Right.
And I mean, that's the only way I can see any of it working. You can't communicate if you're not respecting each other.
Come on, say that again.
You can't communicate if you're not respecting each other.
Message. We're talking about sister mothers now, right? Because that's the first time I ever heard that term used, right? I heard sister wives before, but never sister mothers. So the bond you describe with other mothers is very powerful, right? How did learning to co-parent with other women reshape your definition of family, or just give you a new perspective?
It just became another layer for me.
Right.
Because my sons, the older sister, she's in her 20s now. It's my baby girl. And their younger sister is 16. And that I met the older sister when she was just 4. And her dad just came one Christmas and there was a baby girl with them. And I was like, oh, we were divorced by then.
Right.
And I thought, okay. And she just popped in the house and was wonderful. And I was like, what do I do? Is she gonna, is she scared? Is she, I need to talk to her mom, and the minute I talked to her mom, and the dad was like, no, she's with me. We don't need to involve the mother with this. And I said, no, because you're leaving. You brought her to me and you're leaving for a few days. So I'm going to talk to her mom. And when I talked to her, and I could hear in her voice that she doesn't know me. She does not know me. And my daughter is with her across the country. And, how is she treated? So she and I just wanted her to understand, I want to know what she wants to eat. Right. I'm not here I want to make sure she's comfortable.
Absolutely.
These are before the days of FaceTime and all this. So this mom had to just trust me.
Right.
And we built our relationship. And when baby girl, it was the same with the baby girl's mom. And then the three of us were just whoosh. So all those babies are our babies. Right. And we function that way.
That's amazing.
Even now that they're adults, Can
you say that happened because you wanted to protect the children? You wanted to provide for the children, right? Because we have people that have children with a man and just, all right, this is my child. I ain't worried about that child, right?
I know, but that's not okay.
It's not.
That's not okay because they do have siblings. And siblings, that's their blood. And even if, there's some issues that are happening in the dynamic between the relationship of the mom and dad, whether they're together, whether they're not, you handle that over here. But we tried our best to make sure our kids were raised that these are your brothers. These are not your half brothers. These are not your half sisters. This is your family. Yep. And they need to know each other because they will need each other when we are not here. Absolutely. And that was our bottom line for our family.
One of the book's important themes is creating space for fathers. Mm-hmm. Why was it important for you to write and not write a one-sided story?
Because there's no way family's a one-sided story. And it shouldn't be, and I am like I said, I'm such a daddy's girl, but I grew up in a very male family. Mm-hmm. I was the only girl with a bunch of uncles, my brothers, my strong father, I remember my father having wonderful, strong, positive men around me all of my life. And I knew the importance of having those figures for me, as well as my brothers, but really for me to teach me what I deserved, what I, should expect. I was able to watch him with my mom, but then I had to remember on the other side, everyone doesn't have that experience. My children didn't. My daughters didn't. So we had to build our family to look the way it needed to look, and it can't be that way unless they're also proud of the good parts of them that is their father. Right. And that is just true. We can't discount that they are created by two. And everything is not negatives, and mommies are not always all the positives in our kids.
I want you to say that again, but no, I don't want to do that. Forgiveness shows up throughout the book, not as a weakness, but as transformation. Mm-hmm. What did forgiveness give you that anger never could?
Anger was a quick fix for me. It was easy for me to, tear some stuff up, cuss somebody out, go off, but I had to realize it did nothing for me but leave me mentally, physically, spiritually damaged. And I had to pull myself out of that. And forgiveness helped me understand. I could look at him and say, oh, you poor little thing. You're just a fool. And I can't help you with that. And I know where that might be coming from. That's not my responsibility. Right. I can't help you with that anymore. I can get angry, and then I've given my power to you, and that's what had to stop. So forgiving, I think people think that means, okay, I forgive you, now we good. No, I'm just forgiving that you just don't know any better, and you can't be in my space anymore.
I got put out of a couple spaces.
Mm-hmm. Right? Me too.
So you learn to deal with that, right?
It's true.
You also learn how to give that, right?
Yes.
I want to ask this with care, right? I don't want to, dig. You were young when you got married. Mm-hmm. How old were you at the time?
18.
Looking back now, do you feel like that decision came from truly being ready or from being pushed by love, timing, or expectations around you?
There were no expectations, but looking back, I do think love was definitely there. Mm-hmm. The component of having that strong family that I knew had me, had him, had the baby. Mm-hmm. My BJ was blessed at the wedding, in my belly. So the cocoon of my family was just so supportive that I said, we can do this. Yes. His mom, his family. So it felt like we can do this. And you don't realize the changes that happen until you start to grow up. Wow. Yeah, but.
And how did that experience change how you now think about marriage?
I love marriage is wonderful. It didn't, you have a partner for a reason. And we were created that way. And it doesn't, I understand the decisions that some make that I'm good, I don't need nobody. It's not for me, it's not about that. It's have that partner that this is what we're doing. We're building this together. There isn't a dynamic where, all right, you go handle that and I'm going to just chill. No, maturity shows that partner should have you do this. It just, you grow. So marriage is great.
I think marriage is great. I wouldn't mind being married again.
Right.
Right, realizing, because I got married when I was 23, still young. So, of course, I was running the street and acting a fool, right? But other than that, I know the semblance of marriage, what it means to support each other, what it means to have each other's back, what it means to pick each other up, to dust each other off, right?
Tell each other the truth.
Tell each other the truth, communicate, you feel me? Respect each other, love each other, and to go into war with your partner, right? It has to mean a little bit more than doing it yourself.
Oh, right? It absolutely does. Absolutely.
Would you say that, the culture today shuns marriage? Like, we're pushing that out the door for what? Individuality, right?
I feel like it is. I feel like and I don't like to really use the word traditional, because what is that? Right. But I do. It's
a tradition.
It is a tradition.
Right. So it should be traditional,
and,
right?
I think that, again, going back to kids, that they're losing that vision of seeing, a mom and a dad, two daddies, two mommies, whatever your preference
whatever your love is, right?
That whatever your love is, and we're seeing a generation, and I can only speak to this from my experience in group home and foster care, that the generation of kids that are coming through, and they're coming through younger, and it's because they don't have a foundation with a grandmom to go to. Grandma, I'm a Gigi. My grandmom is 40-something, and that's fine, but we're missing that small little space where family had the structure. And they're growing up seeing that they really don't need to deal with nobody. I don't need to deal with you. I can do this, I can do that. I don't need him for what? If I want him, I'll go deal with him. If I want her, I'll go deal with her. But they're missing out on that partnership. Right. And I do see that it's not the same, and that makes me sad.
Let's get into this house music, right? You're part of the soundtrack of people live all over the world, right? When you hear your voice in those classic records today, what does it represent to you now?
Oh, what does it represent to me? That I did it, right, and I'm doing it, right, and I'm so grateful for the longevity. I mean, just going to the shows and, hearing thousands of people sing along, and I cry, but that's not difficult for me right. Anyway. But it's just that I did it, and people, and it's making a difference with people, and it's still making them happy. And now parents are bringing their kids, and it's still going. It's still going. It keeps my cousin alive. He's part of Kings of Tomorrow, Jason Ciali, who wrote most of the music and produced it. And I feel like you with your family just passed this year. So now singing them means something different to me. It's just, but house music is a spiritual thing.
It is.
It really is.
It is. House music has always been about release and healing, right?
Always.
Do you think your life experiences shape the emotional depth that people hear in your voice?
Of course. Okay. There's no other way. Right. I won't sing things that I don't feel. And I may have missed some hits, but that doesn't matter because being able to have done this for this long and still have it touch people, I know that that's what makes a difference, because they know I mean what I'm saying to them.
How has the woman you are today changed the way you approach music and performances?
I actually think I flow with it the same. Okay. Because I never approached any of it in a premeditated way. I didn't think it was going to sound a certain way. I didn't know I didn't come out with an image. I was singing in basements, and then gradually moving up to, okay, now I'm singing on a speaker in a club. Okay, now they want me to come to Europe. Oh, now they want me to come to Brazil. Now they want me to come, everywhere. And it turns into festivals. And I still get overwhelmed with that because I think, wow, this is amazing. I never thought it would be, I never even thought, oh, this is going to be big and I'm going to be huge. And no, I just did it because I loved it.
Right.
And I believed in the music and I knew how it touched people. So I think it just was so organic.
What would you tell women artists trying to balance creativity, motherhood, and self-preservation?
Woo. Let's see. Get a wine membership. No.
Listen, let's run it down. Number one, get a wine membership.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say, knowing what I know now, you have to pace yourself.
Yes.
First and foremost. Right. Again, I'll have to go back to, I've always been an independent artist. I didn't sign because I didn't want to be told how to be creative. The time that I tried, it was, during the 90s where everybody was doing what they did, but everybody had a voice. Right. And I didn't want to just be a part of that. Not that in a negative way, but I knew I didn't fit there. So I would say be authentic to yourself. If you are a natural, wonderful, beautiful woman, do that. If you love to do the glam, and do that. But protect yourself. Know your business. Know the business. Learn the business. Read your contracts. Sit in your own meetings. Do not hand your life over to someone else. And that's part of the self-preservation. Once you know that you are in control of what you're doing, it takes a weight off of it. Doesn't mean you're being a bitch about it, but you're very clear about what I'm going to do and not do. And it helps when you need to just walk out of a meeting and then go have a bottle of wine and hope you but you're sure you made the right decision. But anything that interferes with your creativity, walk away from it.
I don't know if Lamont Harris is asking. Fall for You. That's one of your songs.
Fall for You. That one's not.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
All right. Okay. No.
And I get that a lot, and I listened to it, and I was like, you know what? Did I sing that?
Me check.
I need to check, man, because. But you know what? That goes back to years of just going in studios and singing with folk.
Right.
And then when my name became my name, I did have to kind of say, wow, folks are pulling stuff out of their vault.
Right.
And even if it's just putting a tag under it or just me on the bottom of it. So you know what? Tell them I very well could be on that song.
Right.
But not one that I generally sing.
Okay. We're going to get into the part of the interview where, I guess, where we got to go, right? Ex-hubby questions.
See your face.
Right? Your past marriage has been discussed publicly, right? In ways you didn't always control. Without revisiting details, what part of your story did you feel most compelled to reclaim for yourself through this book?
For myself, through that, and this isn't to, belittle other women if they did start in a relationship this way. But I think what I had to be clear about is that whole concept of you meet a man who's on his way to being an entertainer and you latch on to him and you trap him and you have a baby. And that I'm sure happens. But for me, that wasn't the case. Right. He was a computer engineer major at a little college in Huntsville, Alabama when we met. Right. Not the one that most were looking twice at.
Right.
But the talent was there, and I knew it. And I had been in the industry up until that point. So I saw, if this is what you want to do, I didn't know if I wanted him to, because I knew what it entailed, but I knew he could. So I said, okay, it's what you want to do, you do it. And we had married before there was a record deal. He was working on one, trying to find one. He was working there in the home as a counselor by then too.
Right.
So that was the biggest part of it, that I kind of just was floundering around and just being there because I couldn't just do nothing else from myself. And that was not the case either. But
what did that chapter of your life teach you about boundaries, healing, and choosing peace, especially as a mother, right? Because it changes when you have a child,
yes.
right? Because what you're saying is you still want to have an active co-parenting relationship, right? So peace is different from before you had a child where you ain't really had to deal with him to now I have to deal with you. You have to be here. You have to be active. You have to get your child. We have to talk about what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, what you can do, what you can't do. Like, how did that explain that, right? Your boundaries, your healing, and choosing peace, especially as a mother.
Well, it changed for me because in the beginning, we co-parented wonderfully. We did holidays together. We had, his time, the weekends. If he was in another relationship, everybody was clear. We all just still did everything together because we were able to do it respectfully. When it started to change where he was less involved is when I had to say, okay, well, this is different, so let's work on that. When it moved to a point where it wasn't very safe for my children to be with him in certain situations, then that started to mess with my peace. So that's where the boundaries came in. It wasn't where I don't want my kids around no women. No, if this woman has clearly been offensive, if this woman has degraded their mother, if this woman has come across a bit fatal attraction-ish because she's picked my child up from school, no, thank you. Those are my boundaries because you would want me to stay peaceful. And that's when the shift started to happen. And when the boundaries would start to be crossed is when there started to be a little more distance between the two. And I don't think those were far-fetched, because we were always inclusive until it just wasn't safe all the time.
All the time. I get that. I definitely get that. We're coming to the end of this interview. I want to thank you.
Thank you
for making the time to come through here. I know you're busy. I know you're running around. Right? They got you going from here to there to here. Right? But I want to thank you for picking a radio station and coming through here. I'm definitely going to grab a book. It says on Amazon, right? So people can buy the book now, right?
They can buy, yeah.
Right? The title of the book is Mama Bear.
Mama Bear Beautifully Blended. And let your folks know, I got a lot of flack for this.
Right.
But until Friday, my gift to them, and I meant to say it before, is that they're able to get a free ebook.
A free ebook.
I'm a page person,
right.
But I know a lot of times people, and if you want it on your tablet, just to start it until you get one, you can do that until Friday.
Are you reading it?
This is your ebook, but the audio book is next month, and I'm reading it.
Okay.
Yep, that took a minute because
I know it did.
I had to start and stop a lot, but that's okay.
When your son reads this book one day, what do you hope he understands about who his mother was and what she stood for?
Oh, they've read it.
They have?
Yes. Okay. I've got 32 and a 36 now year old, and they are the ones I would send chapters to them. Right. I was warning them that there might be some things about when your mom was 16 that y'all don't know about.
Right.
But it's real. Right. There are things that they didn't know about that were happening in the household. But then it opened up dialogue for us because they were like, now, Ma, that's making sense for why stuff was kind of, and some things they told me they did know, and they wished that we would have been able to talk. So that helped us learn we need to communicate.
Yes.
Our kids know.
They know. My kids knew. And when I talked to them, they was like, Dad, we already knew. Right?
Yes. And that made me sad. But we feel that we're protecting them. Right. We do, but.
Who is the book really for? The women who feel broken or the ones who are rebuilding quietly?
Ooh. Well, because I rebuilt quietly.
Right.
I was broken, rebuilt quietly. I think it's
both.
It's for both. I was both.
Right.
At times could still be both. But it's just for every part of what you may go through and what you deal with that I went through.
Right.
And I wanted people to understand when you ask, that goes back to what's one of the misconceptions. Everything was not a perfect day. And I taught myself to grin and bear through it, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy to do.
With the audio book and expanded edition coming, what conversations are you hoping this book continues to open?
Of course, still blending the family. The expanded edition is what's so close to me because these chapters are written since my son's transition, and it's giving the respect to his sisters being allowed to voice how they felt, his brother, my sister moms, and just being very, very, very clear about the fact that we did this together. We functioned and kept him together. Now his wife was it. First and foremost, I've got an amazing daughter-in-law, amazing. And I'm grateful that my son had his siblings. I'm grateful for my sister moms because I knew they felt what I was going through. Right. And I was able to be there and support my daughters, and they were there for my sons, and it wasn't about don't come in. No, we're all cooking, we're all helping, we're all cleaning, we're all doing this. And that's what's important for me, that message. It always comes back to family.
Yes, it does. It should anyway. Right? If you could leave listeners with one truth about love, family, and starting over, what would it be?
Love is wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Love as the premise you can build anything from that. And I mean love in any relationship. Your parents, your siblings, your partner. That's my biggest everything. I don't even know the rest of it. It's just love is always where it is for me. Because I think everything can just start from that.
Absolutely. I want to thank you again for making me a stop on your press tour.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing but success with the dropping of this book, right, and doing everything that you plan on doing with it. Keep on singing.
Yeah, I can't help that.
Right. Keep on healing. Right. Purposefully.
Yes.
Right. That's another thing that I'm understanding. Intentionally. Right.
Yep.
No matter whose foot you got to step on the hill, step on it.
It's true.
Right? You can apologize later. Right. We can have a conversation about it later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And CMPRadio.net, man. Listen, I want to thank Julie McKnight for making CMPRadio.net a stop. Right. Mama Bear, beautifully blended. She definitely in C City. Exit 6. She's here. And that's why I said, Chef Lamont, man, I wanted you. I wish, bro, like you could have. Yeah, definitely check out her music. As soon as I heard it was house music, I should have hit you up earlier, man. I apologize for that, right? Because he's the professional when it comes to house music.
Oh,
right?
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah. I don't know where he at. Where you at, Chef? Where you at? You know where I'm at. But y'all got to get ready to go. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate the whole team, man. As always, my guy. Right. With the lookout, right. Yeah, man. CMPradio.net. This was the Cultivating Mature Positivity Podcast. You know, you can find this podcast wherever you find podcasts at, man. Everywhere, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. Yeah, man, we're out of here, man. Thank you again. Right, make sure you get the book. Amazon, check the book out. Right, it's an important book. Right, it's blending families, it's bringing mothers together. Right, that share the same fathers with their children, to live for their children and not for themselves. Right, CMPradio.net, man. It's a station.